Dear students, continuation of Second Anglo-Mysore War. Today we will move to Third Anglo-Mysore War. Discussing about Third Anglo-Mysore War. First, let's see what were the causes of this war. The first session of this lesson we show during Second Anglo-Mysore War, Hyder Ali died in between the war itself, and Tipu took the leadership of the war, and finally Britishers were defeated, and Treaty of Mangalore was signed in between Tipu Sultan and the British. Now moving to the Third Anglo-Mysore War. The main causes were the violation of conditions put in the Second Anglo-Mysore War only. We'll discuss these things in detail. The politics of Travancore was the main reason for this war. King of Travancore built fort with the help of British and captured Ayakote, Kangano fort from Dutch. This was a breach of Mangalore Treaty. So a little more analysis if we did on this topic. The politics of Travancore. So the king of Travancore, Dharmaraja, was an ally of British. He signed a subsidiary alliance system with the British. And with the help of British, he defeated the Dutch and purchased a fort from them and continued some fortification work, some elevation work over the fort. So this area, though it was under the Dutch control, these areas were under the influence of Tipu Sultan. So Tipu Sultan couldn't support these activities of the king of Travancore as he was a subsidiary of British. Because during the Treaty of Mangalore, the British agreed with Tipu Sultan that they will not work against Tipu Sultan. So when they supported the king of Travancore, that was against the Treaty of Mangalore, which enraged Tipu Sultan, and he declared war against the king of Travancore. So in this, British captured Karwar, Coimbatore, Dingle and Meadow command by Meadow command. So Meadow was the commander of British army. He captured Karwar, Coimbatore and Dingle from Tipu Sultan. Against of this, Tipu Sultan captured Baramhal and Satyamangal. Lord Cornwallis captured Kolar, Hoskote, Bangalore and sought the help of Marathas Nizam to defeat Tipu Sultan. Now see here, during the Second Anglo-Mysore War, or when they signed the Treaty of Mangalore, both of them agreed that they will not take any alliance, they will not engage in any alliance, especially the British promised Tipu that they will not enter into alliance with the Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad. But Lord Cornwallis cunningly he entered into an alliance with the Marathas and the Nizam of Hyderabad. And during the period of war, he requested help from Nizam of Hyderabad and the Marathas to defeat Tipu Sultan. So both of them participated in the war to help the British. Marathas captured Savno, Gajendragarh and Hubballi, etc. areas. So it was inevitable to enter an agreement for Tipu Sultan signed Srirangapatna Treaty in 1792 because the Third Anglo-Mysore War ended with the failure of Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan was defeated in the Third Anglo-Mysore War and finally Treaty of Srirangapatna was signed in 1792. So now let us see what were the conditions in the Treaty of Srirangapatna signed in 1792. As you see on the board, the first condition was Tipu Sultan was forced to part with half of his kingdom. Tipu Sultan was forced to part with half of his kingdom. It means Tipu Sultan were forced to give away half of his kingdom to the British. The second point you see, he was forced to pay 3 crore rupees as war indemnity. The British demanded rupees 3 crore from Tipu Sultan as war indemnity. So to ensure that Tipu should give half of his kingdom and as a guarantee to pay the 3 crore rupees, what the British did, they demanded both of Tipu's sons as a collateral. It means on third point we can see Tipu had to pledge his children as guarantee against payment. It means both of Tipu's sons were taken as collateral. Collateral means, it's a guarantee that we should repay the loan. So both of his sons were taken as hostage by the British. Forced to release the prisoners of war. So the British soldiers who were captured and put in prison by Tipu Sultan during the course of war. So Tipu was forced to release these prisoners from the jail. British withdrew the combined army from Srirangapatna. Combined army means the army of the Nizam of Hyderabad, the Marathas. And even in this, the king of Coorg, he was an ally of Tipu Sultan. He was liberated from Tipu Sultan and even he didn't help Tipu Sultan during the Third Anglo-Mysore War. Now see the total analysis if you may. The Third Anglo-Mysore War, the main causes for this war was the breaching of the conditions of Treaty of Mangalore. So both the teams were agreed to liberate the soldiers who captured in both the sides, but Tipu didn't release the soldiers, and both the sides agreed that they will not enter into any alliance. But we can see Lord Cornwallis entered into alliance with the Marathas and the Nizam of Hyderabad, and the tri-alliance defeated Tipu Sultan in the Third Anglo-Mysore War. And some of the conditions and the Third Anglo-Mysore War ended with the Treaty of Srirangapatna in 1792. And the conditions also you have seen here, Tipu Sultan was forced to give away half of his country to the British. He was forced to pay 3 crore rupees as war indemnity to the British, and both of his children were taken as hostages in the war or as a guarantee to pay against this payment. And Tipu was forced to release the prisoners of war. British withdrew the combined army from Srirangapatna. So these were the conditions. Now see, Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. So Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, if you look clearly, The Third Anglo-Mysore War, Tipu Sultan was defeated by the British, and it was a heinous defeat. Tipu Sultan was not ready to accept that failure actually. He took the defeat as a personal challenge, and he took vow to British out of India, so that British could not defeat the courage of Tipu Sultan. By Tipu Sultan was eagerly waiting for a chance. So what he did, he paid that 3 crore rupees and released his children from the British hostage. And slowly by slowly, he wanted to enforce his power over the region which was once captured by him. The first point on board, Tipu Sultan claims right over Malabar region. So Tipu Sultan claimed his right over Malabar region because these Malabar regions were once under the control of Tipu Sultan, and according to the Treaty of Srirangapattanam, Tipu Sultan was forced to give away half of his kingdom, so the Malabar region was taken back from Tipu. The political activities against Tipu Sultan became intensified when Lord Wellesley became governor of India. So when Lord Wellesley came India as the governor of India, the political activities were intensified. Intensified means doubled by the British. So British knew that Tipu Sultan was a dangerous enemy for them. They couldn't destroy him completely, or until or unless they destroy or they kill him, they cannot sleep peacefully. So British continued all the political activities to destroy or kill Tipu Sultan. So meantime, Tipu Sultan made attempt from form alliance with local kings and the French. During this period, we know the French rebellion was taken place and Napoleon Bonaparte became the ruler of France. And Tipu Sultan sent an ambassador to France and requested the help of Napoleon in defeating the British in India. And he also tried to make alliance with the local kings. So British were keenly observing the activities of Tipu Sultan, and when Tipu Sultan sought help from the French and he started to train the Mysore army in the French style, all these were once clearly observed by the British. So now he sent an ambassador to France to seek alliance. This development enraged the British. So when Tipu was on his foot to make all possibility to drive British out from India, his actions were anchored the British. Tipu Sultan rejected inhuman, impractical conditions imposed by British his refusal to the war. So, when Tipu Sultan was trying to stand on his foot to fight against the British, and when he tried to train the army on the French style, and when he sent an ambassador to the French court to seek help from the France, these all made the British to think about another treaty, and they put forward a treaty to Tipu Sultan. Almost all the conditions on this treaty were impractical, was not practical to follow. So Tipu Sultan, what he did, he rejected to sign on the treaty which were forwarded by the British. So the refusal, when Tipu Sultan was not ready to sign on this treaty, the British declared war against Tipu Sultan. So Tipu Sultan was dead in 1799. His territories were shared among British, Marathas and the Nizam. So during the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, Tipu Sultan died in the war in 1799. By fighting in the war itself, he died. So the Mysore territory was shared among the British, the Marathas and the Nizam. And a small territory was handed over to royal representative of Mysore, known as Mysore Princely State. So we know that the Mysore belongs to the Wadayar dynasty. When the rulers of Wadayar dynasty become weak, the Dalavois were appointed to administration. Hyder Ali rose into power and captured power from the Dalavois or from the Wadayar dynasty. At the end of 4th Anglo-Mysore War, when Tipu Sultan was defeated and killed or died in the battle, the large territories of Mysore was shared among the British, the Marathas and the Nizam of Hyderabad, and the small piece of territory, the real Mysore kingdom, was handed over to the Wadayar dynasty, and it is known as Mysore Princely State. So here we come to an end of 3rd and 4th Anglo-Mysore War. All the points are on the board around the videos, so note down all the important points, and if you wouldn't understand the class, feel free to contact me. Thank you.